Hello, this is Justin at the Tech Train here. Welcome to part 3 in this series of video tutorials looking at a range of ways in which we can deliver online lessons and online learning using a wider range of tools, techniques, methods, websites and other facilities that can help to engage our students. Obviously in 2020 we have the challenge of schools being closed and delivering lessons online. And that isn't easy. So in this 10-part series, I'm showing you a variety of tools and methods that will hopefully make your life a little bit easier. So far in this series, I've looked at how to add narration to PowerPoint files and also how to convert narrated PowerPoint files into videos that can be uploaded to the internet. And of course, you can upload those videos to places like YouTube, but you can also do a lot more than that. And in this video, what I'm going to look at is how to create very easily a full website using nothing more than Google. Now, if you already have some resources in Google Drive, Google Docs perhaps, Google Sheets, presentations, PDF documents perhaps, videos that are on YouTube, you've got maybe a variety of resources in lots of different locations, and that can't be too easy either. If you're using Google Classroom, that's fantastic. I certainly use that as well. But again, all the resources are fairly scattered, and while students can use tags and searching, it's sometimes less easy to find what you're looking for, and certainly the visual appeal is not ideal. So a website is an ideal alternative. It's where you can organize content and you can display multimedia live in page. So you can actually have YouTube videos embedded within the web page. You can have Google Forms and tests and interactive stuff from other websites embedded into your own website. It's a fantastic tool, and it's something that is available with any Google account free of charge. I've actually used this method myself, not only to create simple websites for my students, tutorials and things like that, but I've also used this as a tool for students to use themselves in a couple of different ways. I've shown them how to create a website using Google, and they've either created their own revision websites so they can organize their topics effectively and gather their revision materials in an organized way. I've also had whole classes work together on a particular website where each of the students or pairs of students work on one page of the website, focusing on gathering materials and resources and revision tools for one particular subtopic. And as a whole class, they then bring all of those pages together to a single website that they can all access. And the beauty, of course, of a website is that it can be accessed and even edited on any platform. So whether you have a PC or a Mac or even a tablet or a mobile phone, you can not only edit the website, but you can also, of course, view it very easily as well. So let's get started and have a look at how we do this. So first of all, you'll want to go to google.com and make sure that you are signed in. So sign in to Google at the top right. Once you are signed in, then this is the address to go to. Now, there was, for many years, a sites.google.com, and this was a website where you could build a very simple website. However, it has been superseded with a much, much better version. And so I strongly recommend that you go to sites.google.com/new. Now, when you go to that website, this is what you will see. So at the moment I'm logged in, you can see the icon at the top there, but there's no websites on this particular account. So I'm going to show you from start to finish how to build a very, very simple website and how to embed some content from other locations into it. So to begin your first website, you want to come down to the bottom right corner here. In fact, you can't see it because I'm right in the way. Let me hide me for a moment. There we are. So you can see at the bottom right corner, there's this plus button for create new site. I'm going to click on that, and this will then load up a new website template. There we are. I'm going to skip the tour and let's just bring me back. There we go. So this is your website now. It's not published, it's not online yet. There's a lot that we can do with it. So let's go through a few of the basic points to build this. First of all, I'm going to name the site. So I'm going to call this demo website, an inspired name. There we are. So demo website, you can see now that's automatically saved in Google Drive, with a link at the top there. So this is another beauty, of course, of using Google for this, because it will auto save every time you make a change. So there's no risk at all of losing anything. Now we've got the first page title here. This could be your home page. It could be the main title of your website. So I'm going to use Google Sites Tutorial. There we go. Google Sites Tutorial. I'll just make this a little bit wider. You can see that this text box has blue handles either side. You might possibly see, if you've got a really good screen there, that as I move that, there are vertical black lines allowing me to snap those handles to specific parts. You'll see that a bit easier later on when I build something underneath the title. So don't worry if you didn't see that. You'll see that in just a moment. Now, something that you'll see on the right hand side, this panel here, this has 3 tabs. You can see we've got an Insert tab, a Pages tab, and a Themes tab. I'm actually going to work from right to left on this one. So I'm going to start with Themes. And you can see that there are built-in themes. Simple, the one we've got now, Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, Level, Impression. Doesn't really matter, you can pick your own one. You'll see that each of these has a range of color styles, and you can use the bucket here to choose your own color theme if you want. So this Impression one has red, yellow, green, gray, black, and so forth. Let's go for red. And also you have choices of the font styles as well. We've got capital involved there, but we could change the font to frank or narrow. I'm going to stick with capital and have it like that. There we are. So there we are. I've got my main header for this website. Now we can change this if we wanted to. If I hover over the header, you can see that I can change the image, and I can have any image. I can upload my own one if I wanted to. So you can change the top part of your website. The theme you choose will be the theme for the whole website. But that means that everything is going to have the same color, the same font, so you get a consistent look throughout, which is really good. So once you've played around with the theme, the next thing to do is to have a look at the Pages tab. Now you can see the page we're on now is called Home. And if you want to have more pages, you can click this plus button at the bottom. Again, I'm completely in the way. I apologize. Let me hide. There we are. So at the bottom, right behind where I was, you can see this new page button here. And this will add a new page. Let's call this one page 2 because I'm inspired. There we are, click done, and we have page 2. And you'll see that that now appears at the top here in our menu bar. So we have our home page and our page 2. But you probably don't want every single page in your website as a separate page. You'll want to have sub-pages, so categories or sections. So topic 1, topic 2, and so forth. So in order to have a sub-page, I'm going to go to the home page here, and I'm going to click on the 3 dots on the right hand side. When I do this, you can see that I have the option here of adding a sub-page. And if I click this, I'm going to choose subtopic. Let's choose subtopic. There we go. And click done. And so you can see now the structure on the right hand side shows the top level pages indented on, or rather not indented, I suppose, like a bullet list. And then the subtopics are indented. So think of it like a bullet list with sub-lists within a bullet list. The way those appear on the website itself, as you can see, is top level pages appear along the top bar here, and sub-pages appear in a drop-down list underneath this main page. If I was to add another page under home, let's add another sub-page. So let's do subtopic. What am I up to? 3, 2, 3, I think it is. 2. Let's try that one. There you go. So again, you can see we've now got this list of pages underneath the home page. So adding pages is really, really simple. And if you think of it like a bullet list, you can have your pages as the main bullets and then your sub pages as the sub bullets or the indented sub lists. So adding pages and moving between them is as simple as a bullet list, and you can simply click on the page to go to that page to begin editing it. Let's go back to the home page there and put some content on this. So to insert content, unsurprisingly, we go to the Insert tab. And you can see as we scroll down here, there are a range of tools and methods for inserting content. Let's start with these ones at the top here. Let's go for a text box to begin with. I'm going to click on text box, and you can see we've got this text box below. And here I can type my introduction or whatever other text I want to appear at the top. There we go. So that's my little bit of text in there. Now, as you again can see, as I hover over that, or as it's activated, there are some very simple, quite a limited range of ways of changing that text. So on the left-hand side here, I have normal text, I have titles, I have headings. These titles and headings, and even the font itself, just for plain text, will appear differently depending upon the theme that you have chosen. If you change that theme at any point, then it will update all those pages. It will change the way that that text appears. So we've got all those. Subheading. As you can see, the subheading has picked out the color that I chose for that sort of accent color earlier on. And then we've also got small. I'll go back to normal text. Now, another thing that you'll see as I hover over it is on the left hand side we have this little palette, and if I click on that palette you can see that again, very simple limited number of choices, but I can have the background as regular, which it is now, emphasis, which you may be able to see on your screen, that's put a very pale grey background to it. We've also got emphasis 2, which again picks out that accent colour. And you have also got the option to upload your own image and have an image as a background as well. I'll leave that as an accented red colour like that. Let's add another thing. Let's maybe add an image. So if we grab image and we drop that, so I'm going to click on the image and I'll choose upload. So let's upload an image. Let's upload this one here. There we go. And that image now appears in a default position. There's a few things that we can do here. First of all, we can change the size of that image by clicking on it and using the blue handles. I would choose the corner blue handle so that you're able to put it out in both directions. Now, you will notice that as you put it out, it is possible to crop the image while you are stretching it out. Now, that may be useful for you, or it may be a nuisance. So just be aware that as you're moving it out, you may want to just keep an eye on whether it's being cropped. Now, another thing you'll notice, I hope here, is that you've got those vertical grey lines now appearing at the back. And those grid lines will mean that every bit of content will snap to the nearest grid line. If I let go of this now, you see it just pops out slightly wider than I had the line. So that is now lined up perfectly with that grid line. Now that does mean that everything on your page is going to be lined up perfectly. You can organize things and line them up brilliantly. So this picture here, again, if I click on it, you can see there's a little bit of a menu at the top here. So you've got crop, although it's easy enough to crop simply by grabbing the blue handles here. You can uncrop the image, so if you have cropped it, then you can remove that. You can create it as a link if you want to. There are no hotspot facilities here, it's just simply one link. You can get rid of it here, of course, if you want to. And there are some other options, such as adding alt text and also captions, which are the text which will appear underneath the image. So let's add one more thing. Let's add some more text. I want to just show you this as well. If I add another text box here, so this is just simply another text box. There we go. You can simply build the website up in a very linear way. So you literally have one thing underneath the other. But it doesn't have to be like that if you don't want. You'll see that if I click on the frame that contains the image, so not on the image itself, but on the frame that fits the full width here, that is sort of basically a holder, a container for the whole thing. If I grab this text box here, or click on it rather, you'll see that on the left hand side, just to the left of it, there's a little sort of grab handle. You can see my mouse just changing into 4 little white arrows there. And if I grab that handle and I bring it up here, I can actually move the contents of this around. I'm then going to change the width of this text box here and move this down so that if I move this picture up at the same time, I now have my text and picture in the same place. So with the text box reduced in reduced in width rather, and my picture simply grabbed and dragged, you'll see that these vertical grey lines show me where it will fit, and as I'm holding it there, by keeping it in this position, I've got my text box on the left exactly half the width of the page, the picture on the right exactly half the width of the page, and also that gap between them. So there's a little thin narrow gap between the two, so my content is spread out. You can see that if I just write here with some more text written here, you can see the gap between the items. There we are. So you can see how that works there. So that really is as simple as it needs to be for adding content to your page. So if you want text and you want images, it's as simple as that. But there'll be a few other things that you'll want to include. First of all, links. You may want to include links to other web pages in your site or to other websites. And of course, if you have a list of recommended websites for your students to go and visit, then you can have a list of links. If I click inside this text box, you can see that there is a link button there, insert link. Let's select the words some more text written here, and then I'll click on this link. And if you want to link to another page in your website, you can see that the list of pages available appears. If you've copied a link, then you can simply use that copy, just paste it in there, or I can type in http://www.lipsum.com, which would have been the website that I should have probably had up at the beginning, where I can simply have placeholder text ready to copy and paste into a template. So you can see that is now a link. Now, something else that you might want to include are documents from your Google Drive. So if you have a lot of documents, whether it be Google Docs, whether it be images, whether it be Google Slides, presentations, Google Sheets, spreadsheets, Google Forms, quizzes or whatever, all of those you can embed just as easily. You can see here we've got a Google Drive icon on the right. And if we were to click on that Google Drive icon, we'd be able to go through our drive, select any document, any file that we've got in there, and embed it just the same way we did with this image. You do have some simple layout templates here. In all honesty, I don't think I've ever used those because it's so easy to click and drag content around. Play with it if you want to, but it's really quite easy to just click and drag and put things where you want. And honestly, I've never seen anyone go wrong with a Google website. It's so easy to just click and drag and have everything lined up and organized and formatted consistently. It's a great tool. Just one other thing I'll show you. If I just scroll down here, you can see you have various other things. Here, a lot of them you probably won't need, but you can have dividers if you want to have sections there. Let's click divider. You can see it's like a horizontal line that separates the section. Calendars, maps, maybe. Doc slides and sheets and forms. You can see that those, again, if you've got a doc or a sheet presentation, you can click on that and embed that right in your website. So the presentation itself will be live in the website. It's not just a link that they click on and go and look at it. It's right there. They can actually scroll through and have a look at the presentation, which is fantastic. So it's not just a link to the file, it is the file itself working in a website. Let's also go to YouTube, because probably you're going to want to embed videos into your website. Let's head over to one of my favorite YouTube channels, actually. So I'm going to scroll down and find, let's have a look at this video here. Create a Wheel of Fortune spinning name selector. I'm going to pause the video for a second, and I'm going to click in the address bar and select that address. I'm going to go back to my website, click and paste that in there. You can also just simply search for a keyword if you wanted to. But if you have the actual address, you can simply search for that and get the exact video. Let's click on that and choose select, and there we are. That's now appeared in the website. And just as with anything else, you can click and drag it around. So if you want it in the middle of the page, you can. And you can also increase the size of this. Again, just be careful of cropping. I'm going to grab the left-hand edge and just make sure that's not cropped. There we are. So I now have that video. And again, it's not a link to a video. It's actually embedded within the website. So you can see that it's very, very easy to create a website. You can see the themes, the templates, how you can simply click and drag content around and put together a nice looking website in minutes. Now, how do you publish this and then share that? Well, you can probably see already that at the top right, we have the publish button, this blue button here. I'm going to click on that button and you can see that the address that we choose will be preceded by sites.google.com/view, and then you can pretty much put whatever you want after it. Let me just put in here the Tech Train website demo. It's a pretty long address there, but there we go. I know that's going to be available. So the Tech Train website demo. Now you can obviously put hyphens in here, and you probably can have quite short addresses as well, but you can put whatever you want in here. And then what about who wants to see it? Well, down here you've got who can view my site, and at the moment we've got anyone. Now, if you want to have anyone, so in this published version here, it's not published yet, but if you wanted to change it, you can do. If you are in a school, if you have a Google Education account, then there will be an option. It's not listed here because I'm not logged in on my school account at the moment, but there will be an option for you to limit access to your website to only those people who are logged in using a school Google account. That will mean that students looking at the website will have to make sure they are logged into Google first. I don't tend to bother too much with it like that. I pretty much allow it to be published so anyone can, because then the students, if they're on their mobile phones or their tablets and they just suddenly think, oh, I just want to look up that video, I want to look up that word or look at that resource or whatever. If they can't remember their Google password, and let's be honest, students do sometimes forget things like that, and right now they may very well forget things like that, and it may not be easy to get them back onto Google if they have forgotten their password. So I tend to leave that as public. If you want to, you can see that there is an option down here to request that public search engines don't display the website, so it won't appear in listings like on Google or Bing. So if you prefer to keep it at least reasonably private, then you can certainly choose that option. Otherwise, I'm going to click publish, and a second now, there we are, done. I'm just going to open that up, and you can see I now have a website. And if you look at the address here, there it is. It's no longer just in my Google Drive or something. It is now sites.google.com/view/the Tech Train. Oh, I like that one. It's not that bad, is it? The Tech Train website demo. And I'll leave this published, so I won't make any changes to this at this point. If you want to go to this website and just check it out, there you are. It's live. It's obviously unfinished, but you can see that everything there is definitely live. So that's it really. It's as simple as that. So it's fantastic as a resource and totally free. I know that some people have even used this to make their own website for their own personal business because it is free and it looks fantastic. So if that was useful to you, if you think that could be a resource that would be really helpful in organizing and gathering resources together, then please do give this video a like, give it a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. Share it if you know other teachers that might find this quite useful. If you have any questions, then do leave a comment below. I do make sure I read all comments, and I do make my very best effort to reply to those comments as soon as I possibly can. So I hope that was useful. In the next video in this 10-part series, I'm looking at using Google Forms. Now, Google Forms is something you may have come across before for surveys. I'm going to show you how you can use Google Forms to make quizzes that are self-marked, but you can actually see the marks the students get as well. And I'm also going to show you how to use Google Forms to create a scavenger hunt as well, which will be something that you can use to help engage and enthuse students. A little bit of a challenge and not just another test. So hopefully that'll be useful. So that's video 4 in this series. Do make sure that you're subscribed if you want to make sure you know when these videos are live, and also other videos on my channel that hopefully you might also find useful. So thank you very much indeed for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.